right. I think this thing's live. It disconnected before it even got started on this one. When you need help, it's not going to be there unless you have help already, unless you have someone in your life who cares already. Jen Beebe, in order to get her to do her job, I would have to have family or a friend who loved me like family enough to go with me. Same thing with the police. See, when you go to deal with any of these people who work together, they're going to make any excuse not to. The police aren't going to investigate themselves. They're not going to investigate Jen Beebe. They're not going to investigate any of these therapists who literally broke the law by not turning in the crimes against me before or after Natalie's death. I want you to look at foster care. I really do. I want you to look at Child Protective Services and the things they do, despite the fact that there are so many people who actually care about children, and they'll speak out. But are they doing what Black Lives Matters is? Affecting change, actually affecting change. You say it's not right that these black people are getting violent. First of all, it's just a few people getting violent. Most of the people there are peaceful protesters. But at the same time, how many times do you say we should shoot these people or we should shoot those people? Or when there's an issue in another country, we send people over there to murder those people. And then we give them jobs here as police officers, people who we have literally trained to murder people. Jen Beebe, this is what they consider help. 5 months of nothing. Then her boss wants to call me up yesterday and reschedule it again for today, and Jen Beebe again did not call. No, Jen Beebe needs criminal charges pressed against her. According to the law, is punishable by the same laws and same penalties as doing those things to children. If a child comes to you and says, I'm being assaulted at my foster home, and you turn a blind eye, and the next day that child says, hey, I'm being abused at my foster home, and you turn a blind eye, and the next day that child is abused again and gets a hold of you and says, hey, I'm being abused in this foster home, you say, I can't do anything about it. I can't do anything about it. Really? Because according to the description of your job, that is exactly what your job is. What is it that all of these people had in common? They all get a paycheck whether they do their job or not. Jen Beebe, look through the last 2 years. Since Jen Beebe got assigned to me, how much has she actually done? In the last 5 months of her not doing a goddamn thing and Nicole Peralta not doing a goddamn thing, there's a reason for that. It's because both of those women are criminally negligent in their actions, in their choices, in their decisions not to do their jobs. A mandated reporter is a mandated reporter. And when it comes to the rights of an at-risk adult, which I am, I fit all of the categories for being an at-risk adult, all of them. What's the number one thing that makes you an at-risk adult? The number one on every single list. Foster care is number fucking one. Number one. And you say, oh, well, you're an adult. That doesn't matter. The support network that a lot of you have is better than no support network at all. When you get dumped off with absolutely nothing at 18, sorry about that, unstable connection again. So Jen Beebe was supposed to call me back today. Again, she didn't. Again. 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 You say, Sean, you need to get help. Sean, you're not trying to get help. Really? Really? All of the bullshit that I went through with all of these people, and you want to say I wasn't trying to get help. You know, we could have changed these laws if people, instead of victimizing me when Natalie was killed, if they'd have actually listened, we could have saved a lot of lives. Ty Borte would be alive today. Anna Hunka would be alive today. If the police had listened to me before Natalie was killed, Natalie would be alive today. Be alive today. Six people who were assaulted by Officer Waylon Lolatai would be alive today, or would never have been beaten on if they had listened to me. See, it only takes one bad officer or one institution that specifically caters to officers to destroy the rest of your life everywhere you go. An officer assaults you, charges you with felony assault, you can't get help because it's nobody's goddamn job to investigate that. And all of the places where you say you need to call this place and you need to call that place, and you call all these places and they all make excuses. Time and again, we have seen this. Jen Beebe, at this point, her and her institution, Region 1, need to be brought down. So the things they did to me, they cannot do to another person. That's the point of taking them down, to set the example that what they are doing is wrong. If you are taking the money, but you're not doing the job, then you are taking money for services not rendered, and that is against the law. Now let's take a look at how much money has been spent in this period of time. Whether it's my money or that tax money that we all busted our asses to pay, the fact is, it is well over $2,000, which means that it is in the felony range. That goes for the jails, that goes for the prisons, that goes for therapists and Region 1. That goes for Colorado Coalition of the Homeless, Jeff Ritter and Kara Heller. That goes for Jen Beebe and her boss. That goes for the public pretenders' offices. The system is fucked. And you know what? If it takes a whole bunch of black people, if all black people in America got violent today and it changed our laws the way that it's been changing them, yes, absolutely, I would promote every black person in America going out and getting violent. As you can see, that's what's making the difference. That's what's getting people to take a look. How sad is that? Jen Beebe needs to do her fucking job. She's obviously not going to. She has shown in the last 2 years that she is not interested in doing her fucking job. She does just enough to pretend that she's doing it. And in the last 5 months, not even that. Last 6 months, not even that. Nicole Peralta hasn't called me back either. When these things happen to other people, I am expected to stick up for these other people who are not sticking up for me, who don't care that those things were happening to me. Because it's not happening to them, it must be okay. And even if it is happening to them, if you're not part of their group, then it must be okay. When I show you the hypocrisy of it, you tell me what an evil person I am. I'm an evil person for defending myself, for sticking up for myself. The difference between 18 dead bodies, and it's actually a lot more than that. If I'd have been listened to when I first started speaking out, instead of people like Brandon Jepson being punk ass spoiled little bitches and treating me like shit for defending people who don't deserve this shit. Brandon is one of those assholes who automatically takes an officer's side. Automatically, no matter what, because you have a gun and a badge, you must be right. It must be okay for you to torture people because you have a gun and a badge. Fuck you, Brandon Jepson, you're a bitch. You were my best friend once. But you're a fucking world-class piece of shit. You're lucky your mama loves you.